the truth is painful.
You can't handle the truth!
Welcome to Todd's Truth. Todd wrestles with the truth. My AEW Week in Review. Tonight was AEW Dynamite, Blood and Guts. And there was a lot of blood everywhere. The first match of the night was Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa, versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. This came off of last week, where they were threatened to break Kenny Omega's ankle if they didn't give them a match. But it turned out, pretty much like I was expecting. About halfway through the match, Kenny Omega got mad because he was getting beat up, and he just walked off and left Nakazawa in the ring to get just destroyed. Moxley and Eddie Kingston got the win on this match with a crazy move. It was Moxley did a lariat clothesline while Kingston did a belly to back suplex at the same time. And yeah, that got him the win. So they were celebrating the win. Out walks the Young Bucks. Matt was wearing an outfit that could only be described as the most god-awful looking outfit I've ever seen in my life. It was like a Hawaiian matching shirt and shorts, but the ugliest color and palette I think I've ever seen. And he was wearing like white shoes, so nothing matched. So they came out, was talking trash to Moxley and Kingston just to distract them. And then in the ring behind them comes the Good Brothers. And then the four of them just beat the crap out of Moxley and Kingston. And out comes Kenny Omega again. Oh, so shock surprise there. To help beat him. And then he has the four of them pick up Eddie Kingston on his shoulders so he can give him a one-winged angel. And yeah, that was pretty much how I thought it was going to go. I didn't think this was going to be an actual match or anything fair. This was just going to be a 5-on-2, 4-on-2 beatdown is all this was. And that's exactly what it turned into. The next match of the night was Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall. Still don't care about this QT Marshall thing. I don't know. It's just he doesn't have a presence like a lot of villains do. I mean, if you're a bad guy, you've got to be able to like project that, and be that, and he doesn't. I don't care. QT Marshall just does not look like a guy that I'd go, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of. No, I sit here and go, oh, look at me shaking. I'm so scared. So it's just not a good thing for him to be a bad guy because he just doesn't have the presence, that stage presence to be a bad guy, and to do what it takes to have that. But yeah, good match. At one point, which some of the ridiculousness of this match was that Cody Rhodes took off his weight belt, was going to hit QT Marshall with it. The referee stops him, yells at him, oh, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. He grabs the belt from Rhodes, throws it out of the ring. No sooner does he do that than QT Marshall takes off his weight belt and hits Cody Rhodes with it. And nothing from the referee. So that was weird. That I thought that was like really, yeah, it was like, what the hell's going on here? And then at one point, QT Marshall was outside the ring. He hits, shoving Arn Anderson away, that's striking him. Arn Anderson retaliated for striking him and was basically punched QT in the face and then grabbed him and was choking him on the ring post, which that was pretty awesome. And then all these referees come out of nowhere, literally. Like, were you just standing right there waiting? They literally run out and they make Arn Anderson leave when QT Marshall hit him first. Yeah, none of this made sense. But finally, the match went down. They did reversals, different things, trying to do tombstone pile drivers. But the match ended with Cody Rhodes finally saying, screw this, and locking in the figure 4 on QT Marshall and making him tap out. So Cody Rhodes wins it. Again, blood all over Cody's face from here. I think he cut his eye or something right here, and he had blood running down his face. So lots of bloods, but I didn't see anybody get their guts ripped out. That was what I was waiting for. But lots of blood. So, and then at the end, Cody Rhodes is celebrating, and out comes that Anthony Ogogo again. And Cody Rhodes turns around, and Anthony Ogogo gut shots him again. And I'm like, not this again, really? So, they're probably setting something up with him. This rookie guy who's was a boxer, barely a wrestler. He's still a rookie being trained. But now the super move from this guy who's not even that big is a gut punch. I mean, I could understand this if this was Paul White, the former Big Show, because the guy's 7'1" and he has hands bigger than bowling balls. That if he punches you in the gut, or like his finishing move he was doing in WWE was, instead of chokeslamming, he was punching you in the face with those giant hands. I can understand that. But this guy is not that big. I don't care if he's a pro boxer. Not even anybody with any kind of physical fitness. A gut shot is not a shot that would crumple you. Crunkle. A gut shot is not a thing that would make you just fall to the ground in pain. I mean, so I don't get this. I don't understand how this is a big finishing move or anything. I could understand if he did like the Big Show and he would, being a pro boxer, he wasn't a pro. I don't think he was a Olympic boxer, but a punt, a hook or an uppercut, to the face or head. But a gut shot, I'm like, this makes no sense. But Cody Rhodes got the win in this match. But again, the match was good. It was just the aftermath which was dumb. But the match was a really good match. So other than the few, minor referee stupidity. And then they went to an interview with Scorpio Sky and All Ego Ethan Page. They were sitting up in the stands, up towards the top where they've been sitting. They sit up there by themselves to watch. While Scorpio Sky is being interviewed, Ethan Page, you can see, is standing behind him, and he's agreeing with everything Scorpio Sky is saying. Out of nowhere, Darby Allin attacks Ethan Page, because I guess they have a long history now from what Ethan Page was saying. He's injured Darby Allin several times. So he attacks Ethan Page. Then he tries to attack Scorpio Sky, but Scorpio Sky just punches him right in the face, and then he jumps out and they start fighting. And he knocks down Scorpio Sky. Ethan Page comes after him. He climbs up on a ladder that probably leads up to the catwalks where the lights are, and does a coffin drop off it onto Ethan Page, which really doesn't have the effect of him standing there catching the guy as it would if he was laying down. He coffin dropped on him. But then Scorpio Sky runs over and bashes him with a garbage can, and then the two of them proceed to kick the crap out of Darby Allin, which I kind of liked because I'm not a big fan of Darby Allin's. And then they grab him and they throw him down a flight of concrete stairs. And he literally went down. He rolled the stairs. I mean, and they're concrete. These weren't gimmicked stairs. They were concrete. So he's laying down there, which is a whole flight below them, as you can see in this picture. This is a close-up, but they were a whole flight. That's a whole flight below them. Holding his arm and elbow, as you can see him here in this picture. So, I don't know. Is this going to take Darby Allin out from defending his title next week? Or what? But yeah, they beat the crap out of him. Well, that was kind of dumb for him to, it's being a little dude that he is. He's not very big, to attack two big guys like Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. That was dumb to begin with. But yeah, he got the crap kicked out of him. And then was this horrible match. This was the worst part of the night. I'm not a fan of hers. I don't think she's a good wrestler at all. The only thing she's been doing lately is they've been giving her squash matches. So she's supposed to be ranked number 1 now in the women's division, yet she's not really wrestled anybody of any significance. Everybody she's been doing, it's been a jobber, rookie, enhancement talent, whatever phrase you like. That's all she's done. The only time she's had a notable match was against Thunder Rosa, and she got her ass kicked. I mean, yeah, there was no. Yeah, that's the only time she's had a significant match. I think she needs to have some matches with some of the top tier women in AEW before she's given a title shot, which I think is just beyond stupid. If they take the title, which they announced is going to happen at the next pay-per-view, so if they give the title to her, I will destroy that women's division every chance I get for this kind of crap, because she should have to prove herself more than beating a bunch of jobbers. So yeah, and she got the win here against another jobber. It's ridiculous. She's not a good wrestler. I mean, if you watch her matches, even against jobbers, she has more botches in some of these matches than I've lost count of. Big deal. She's a good talker now, but she can't do anything in the ring to prove it. That's why she hasn't faced any of the real women wrestlers, because she couldn't match them, because they would embarrass her in the ring, and you'd really see her flaws stand out. So yeah, I think she's a joke. Next was this awesome match, which was really a great match for the night. So SCU versus Jurassic Express versus Varsity Blondes versus The Acclaimed. A 4-way tag team eliminator match. So what it was whoever wins this match, one fall, that's it, not elimination. I don't know why they called it eliminator match, but whoever gets the pin wins, and they get to face the Young Bucks next week on Dynamite. So great match. All these guys did amazing performances here. This was probably, one of the top matches of the night for me. The Varsity Blondes came out first, did their little chest bump, and then out came the Jurassic Express, then SCU, which is my favorite tag team, and then out came the Acclaimed. So this match turned out to be really great. I mean, they went back and forth, all four teams. A lot of blind tags. Some of those blind tags were met with punches to the face of the person who did the blind tag. So that was funny. And the match just flowed. It was a great match. A lot of good high flying. A lot of good technical wrestling. A lot, from the veterans of SCU, and Luchasaurus getting in there and just cleaning house, because he's big, strong, and he can kick the crap out of you with his kicks. But overall, just a great match. SCU though got the win here when they pinned Brian Pillman Jr. So it'll be SCU next week taking on the Young Bucks for the titles, who before they turned assholes used to be their friends. And then there was an announcement by Kenny Omega, and technically it was an announcement by Tony Schiavone there, with Kenny Omega out there because he's the champ, that at Double or Nothing, which is the next pay-per-view at the end of May, he would be facing either Orange Cassidy or Pac, because they're ranked 1 and 2. Kenny Omega said he wants to face Pac because the last time they wrestled, they had an incredible match, which they did. It was a great match. And so he said he wanted to face Pac again because of the great match they had before. But Tony Schiavone said, well, it could be Orange Cassidy as well, because Orange Cassidy is ranked number 1, Pac is number 2. So it was set up for next week that Pac and Orange Cassidy will have to have a match, the winner of which will face Kenny Omega for the AEW Championship at Double or Nothing, which I like that because that's going to be a great match. I love Pac. He's definitely up there as good as Kenny Omega, which I would love to see Pac and Kenny Omega have another match, because Kenny Omega's right. The match they had before was amazing. So next was Blood and Guts. This I've been waiting to see. It was the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. So 5-on-5, and how it works is 2 people start the match, and then it was chosen who would have the disadvantage. Sammy Guevara decided he wanted to go in first because he wanted to face Shawn Spears. Well, Shawn Spears pulled a double trick just before it was time for him to go in the ring, and he didn't enter. One of the other members of the team did. So it was funny because he tried to trick him. So what he wanted to do was let his teammate hopefully beat up Sammy Guevara enough that Shawn Spears, came in next so that he could have the advantage of beating up Guevara and wouldn't have to face him at full strength. Little dirty, but it worked because when Shawn Spears got in the ring, they double teamed Guevara and was beating the crap out of him until Ortiz came in, and then it leveled out. And then after that, it was like 5-minute match for the first two, and then every 2 minutes after that, another member came in. Well, you couldn't win the match until all 10 people were in the ring. And then the match could only be won by submission or an I quit. So here's the ring when it was all set up, getting ready for blood and guts. As you can see, it's 2 rings with a cage going all the way around it and a roof on the cage. So you can't escape. And the match has to continue and beating each other inside of that double ring steel cage until, like I said, somebody submitted or somebody quit. But what happened was there's 2 doors because on each side, each ring had a door so that each member of the team could come in on that side, which would be their side. Like Pinnacle be on one side, Inner Circle be on the other. And then, so towards the end, all 10 are in there. They're going at each other after they had the stare off, one in each of the rings, and they attacked each other like crazy. And then Tully Blanchard outside, it didn't show if he attacked the referee, one of the referees, but he had to have attacked the referee or did something because he got the keys for his side from the referee, opened the door, which allowed MJF to escape the ring, but escaping the ring doesn't win the match for you either. So MJF wanted to get out of there because he was getting the crap beat out of him at the time, and all bloody and blood pouring down his face. And so he got out, climbed up to the top of the cage to get away. And then that's when Chris Jericho came out and climbed up after him. The only negatives I've got for this match, because I liked it, I thought it was awesome, it lived up to my what I was expecting, was that this should have been done as a pay-per-view. Or this should have been done where they got a sponsor to sponsor this match, because there were a lot of commercials. And the commercials killed the momentum of the match. So people were saying that they watched it in other countries on Fight. And the action slowed down and, like they were waiting in between commercial breaks to keep the action going, like fight. Oh, okay, take a little break. We'll do the, okay, commercial's over. Fight. So, and there were a few things that happened in this match that we, watching it on TV, didn't get to see. Like, at one point, FTR ripped up one of the mats on the ring, on one of the rings, pulled up the padding, pulled up the mat to just expose the hard wood underneath. And then they were going to double pile driver both members of Proud and Powerful. Well, Sammy Guevara helped out. They flipped it around, and they ended up spike pile driving both members of FTR onto that wood. So all they did was move the wood and got hurt themselves. We didn't get to see that happen because it was a commercial break. So we didn't get to see, we saw like Jericho go outside, start to climb up, and people were saying that he like stopped halfway up while climbing. And people were like, well, why is he did that? Why is he not climbing all the way up? And then it was later found out that it was because it was a commercial break. So he stopped, like, okay, oh, we're back from commercial. And he started climbing back up to meet MJF up at the top. So things like that. They should have had something where, like I said, where they got a sponsor to somebody sponsor this match so that the match did not have to have any commercial breaks. That would have been great. Or this should have been a pay-per-view where we wouldn't have had to deal with commercial breaks, because I would have paid to see this match so I didn't have to sit through the commercial breaks, which did kill the momentum of the match. But it finally ended with MJF and Jericho on top. MJF, of course, reaches in his tights. I mean, that's got to be uncomfortable. Pulls out that diamond ring he wears, which again, that's got to be uncomfortable down there for all the stuff that he went through inside that cage. He has stuff kind of painful. but put it on, punches Jericho, basically knocks him silly. He grabs Jericho, holds Jericho out over the edge of the cage to the floor or to the stage, and tells the Inner Circle if they don't surrender, so they can win the match, that he's going to throw Jericho off the top of the ring. Sammy Guevara surrenders because he doesn't want to see Jericho hurt, which he should have known. MJF is a liar. MJF is a backstabber. He doesn't do anything, right? So Sammy Guevara quit, gave the surrender, and MJF still threw him off the top of the cage. And you can see he crashed down over there on the far side onto the part of the stage. That was gimmicked, of course, because, look how far up look how little MJF looks up there on top. And he threw him all the way down there. Of course, that stage was gimmicked because we don't want to kill Jericho. But you have these people out there who are, oh, that was so gimmicked, it's retarded, oh, it's bad, it was horrible. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but have any of you, because if you guys have ever seen a lot of these people that review wrestling, they're all little nerdy dudes that have never played a sport in their life, let alone wrestling, let alone any of this kind of physical stuff. And I'm like, how about you climb up there and I'll throw you off onto a non-gimmicked stage and we'll see how you land if you don't die. Well, we don't want Chris Jericho dying, so yeah, of course that was gimmicked, so he didn't get hurt. He's in his 50s, for God's sake. So that's how the match ended. And I thought the Pinnacle was going to win because Pinnacle, they just brought this team together, so you don't want to destroy this team on their first big outing. In this situation, it wasn't really a loss for either team or a win because, you should see what everybody looked like afterwards. But yeah, I figured the Pinnacle to win because we want to continue this storyline until an eventual, hopefully, Jericho gets to, beat the crap out of MJF in a match and in this feud permanently. So yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a great match. I mean, there was so much blood everywhere, man. They're gonna have to hazmat team this whole arena down, man, because there was so much blood during this, and blood and guts, so it was good. Well, like I said, the only thing I didn't see was some of his guts spilling out, so I'm disappointed in that. So, but overall, great match, great show. And then Pinnacle got the win. As you can see, look at MJF's face, and you can look at something like Dax Hardwood, and them standing there, and you can't see the other one back behind him, Cash Wheeler over there, but or is that Cash Wheeler? Sorry, and Dax Hardwood, but it covered in blood. His trunks are covered, his white trunks all covered in blood, and yeah, it was a brutal match. I mean, that steel cage is still has sharp points on it that you can cut yourself open on. And Sammy Guevara did. He got a cut on his arm from the steel cage that sliced open. It must be about 5 or 6 inches long. You can see it if you look up on his Twitter. He posted a picture of the stitches and stuff he had to get for his shoulder being ripped open by that cage. So yeah, it was bad. It was bloody. So for next week, they did the announcements. Here's the promos for it. Next week, it'll be Orange Cassidy versus Pac for the title shot at Kenny Omega for Double or Nothing. And I believe it's the end of May 30th, I believe. And then you have from tonight's too is the Young Bucks will have to take on SCU for the World Tag Team Champions, which I hope SCU wins because I don't know if anybody realized it that watches wrestling, but I think in almost every wrestling company right now, WWE, as I call them because I don't like them, AEW, Impact, all these ones, all of the titles are held by villains. The bad guys hold all the titles. So it's kind of funny. I'm like, wait, that is right. They're all held by the bad guys. So I would like to see SCU with those belts back around their waists again because, as I said, I love SCU. I think they're my favorite tag team. So I would love to see that. And if they lose, then SCU, they break up. And I don't want to see them break up because they're too good. I don't want to see them go on singles runs. I like them as a tag team because they work so well together. And they worked together for a long time. So also announced during the episode was this, which I can't wait for. So after Darby Allin got his butt chucked down those stairs, This was announced for next week. Darby Allin has to take on Miro. Yeah, okay. There is no way in hell that Darby Allin is going to beat Miro. No, there's no way. I want to see that title around Miro's waist because Miro is a monster. He needs to have that title and he needs to just destroy people every week because that's what Miro likes to do. And that's what we want to see. This is the Miro we all want to see. Rusev Miro. This is the one that we've wanted to see the whole time. The beast that just destroys people. And by putting that title on him, he will be able to wrestle every week on Dynamite and destroy a new opponent every week. And that's what we want to see. Yes, do it. And this one is also, I'm so looking forward to next week. So, New Japan's IWGP US Championship is being allowed, the US Championship is going to be defended on Dynamite. Never done this before. They've never allowed one of their titles to be defended on a different promotion. So Moxley will be defending the IWGP US Championship versus Yuji Nagata, a freaking legend. I mean, there's nobody that knows anything about Japanese wrestling that does not know who this guy is. He has been around since the last time he came to the US for a match. He came and performed on WCW. That's how long this guy's been around, and he still wrestles. And he's still a great wrestler, and he's a legend that everybody would like to have a shot at or chance to wrestle. So this is going to be an amazing, so this is amazing in both of those categories. Moxley will be defending the IWGPA US Championship against Yuji Nagata on Dynamite. And that is amazing. This is the whole, forbidden door being kicked open, not only being kicked open, but being broken down by the battering ram and stomped on for New Japan to allow their title to be defended on Dynamite. So this is going to be amazing. I can't wait for this match. This is probably going to be the best match you're going to see all year. And then, there it is. Double or Nothing. The next pay-per-view is coming May 30th. So a lot of these matches that are coming up are leading up to this. So the one that has me the most pissed off is the one that they just announced tonight. This. So Britt Baker gets to beat up a bunch of jobbers while Hikaru Shida is beating up the top talent in AEW that she has to defend her title against. Britt Baker spends, what's it been, 3 months since she came back from injury, beating up a bunch of jobbers, enhancement talent, rookies, whatever you want to call them. And she gets a title shot at Hikaru Shida when she's not had a match against any top talent at all. The only one she took on was Thunder Rosa, and Thunder Rosa kicked her ass. So this is stupid to me. If they had better not have Britt Baker beat Hikaru Shida, because Britt Baker, like I said before, is a crappy wrestler. Her matches have botches upon botches if you try and watch them. That's it. And all she had to do is beat up a bunch of jobbers. And she gets a title shot. She doesn't even have to go through any of the other top tier talent in the women's division. Which, because she can't. She'd lose to all of them. There's no way that she could beat any of the top talent. And that's why they're doing it this way. So they can pretend she's a threat by having her beat up jobbers and having squash matches. So yeah, not happy with this. This is crap. So yeah, that was AEW Dynamite's Blood and Guts. Overall, great match. Great matches, great show. I mean, just with a couple little tiny things in it. But yeah, I would give this, oh man, if it's going to be, it's so hard. I would give this a 5-star, 5 out of 5 stars, man. If not a so high 4 out of stars that it would be touching 5 out of stars. So I'll give it a 5 stars because it was that good. The few things in it I didn't like were not enough to bring me down on the high of this show. So yeah, it was great. If you get a chance, go on TNT and watch this because it will not disappoint. The whole thing was spectacular. And I felt great after watching it, going, yeah, this is awesome. This is what wrestling should be. So if I feel that way, 5 stars. Watch it if you can on TNT. Well, thanks for joining me for this review of AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts. If you like this review, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.